I'm back from the first World Championship of Wonders of the First, and there's a lot to talk about, y'all. Howdy, howdy, American Texan here, and I love trading cards, collectibles, and specifically for this channel, Wonders of the First. And we just had our very first World Championship. 2 world champions were crowned in the Dragon Cup, what I call the luxury tournament, where you can only play with collector cards, or you could be in the Stoneseeker Cup, which is your traditional tournament. That one was a $25,000 prize pool. The Dragon Cup was worth a $100,000 prize pool. The winners, well, honestly, they shocked me. Maybe other people weren't shocked, but the playing field was amazing. So before we talk about all that, if you want to keep up to date on everything Wonders of the First and what it's like to collect, to play, and just have an overall enjoyment of the game, please subscribe. And if at any point you like what I say, hit the like button. And if at any point you don't like what I say, hit the dislike button, but go ahead and hit it twice because I don't believe you otherwise. So this weekend in Las Vegas, we had 2 world champions crowned. The Dragon Cup champion, congratulations, Honest AF, and the Stoneseeker Cup champion, congratulations, Ken. It was a fierce competition. I played in the Stoneseeker Cup. I was solo, did not have a team. It was wonderful to see all the teams that showed up, the different camaraderies of people coming together and really showing what it takes to really compete at a level like this. It was an eye-opening experience for me. It was humbling for me. I did not qualify for any money spots, and man, I'll tell you what, I was disappointed. And I could see the same face and people going through the same emotions that I had when they were knocked out, all the way up to the top competitors. It was a fierce competitions and emotions were high. There was a lot at stake for a lot of people. It was a huge cash prize. If you placed in the top 16 of the tournament, you got $500. You could get $1,000 for placing higher, all the way up to the top prize. I think it was $8,000 or $10,000 in the Stoneseeker, and $25,000 or $30,000 in the Dragon Cup. There was a lot of money on the line. There was a lot of decisions to make. The Swiss rounds were timed at 50 minutes, but afterwards, the top 8 elimination matches were untimed. And so games went on for a long time. Even one of the top 8 games, I mean, it went on for over an hour because you're just sitting there playing what I call quantum wonders, which is where you're looking at all possibilities of what they have in their hand, what you have in your hand, what's on the board, what they could play after you play, what they could be drawing up next. Why did they draw? Why did they play that? Why did they look at this card? Why did they point to this card? Even looking at when they draw a card, do they put it at the back of their hand or at the front of their hand because they plan on using it? Is it something that's going to totally change everything? Or did they put it in the back of their hand because they don't plan on using it? All of these things are going through these minds of these competitors, and it was just a wonder to see. I was not prepared for just how fierce the Stoneseeker Cup would be. Like I said, the great Wonders players were all playing in the Dragon Cup. And I'm not saying there were no great players in the Stoneseeker Cups. I'm just saying the ones that I followed the longest and admired the most: Sneaky Joe, Capricorn, Benless, Hanging Bananas, all champions of their own right that have been champions in other tournaments across the year that Wonders has been out. They were all in the Dragon Cup and they all deserve to be there. So I expected there to be some fierce competition in the Stoneseeker Cup, mainly on the deck building side because there were no limitations other than the normal deck limitations. What I did not expect was to see just how many people would show up that I didn't know, that were coming to the tournament for the first time, competing for the first time in Wonders, and just absolutely knocking it out of the park with primo decks. Decks that were obviously hyper-tuned, decks that I did not plan to see, or at least plan to see as much. In my 5 rounds of Swiss, I faced almost the same 4 Patria decks, one after the other. And it was exhausting for me not only to play those 5 matches one after the other, but also my deck personally that I built was just naturally weak to Reanimate and Patria. My dog wants to say hi and console me here, but my deck that I made was more of a control and nullification deck. Really control 3 lanes, contest 4. But what I could not put up against is Patria, which is who cares what you can control, we can just put out more. And that was really tough to deal with, as well as a lot of dead cards in my hand. Eternatum was useless. Arcane Grasp was useless because there was no items of theirs to take, as well as Nexus, because if I didn't draw my items, my Nexus was kind of useless. Overall, though, for the weekend, including all the events, I did have a winning record, so I'm happy with that. Plenty of other folks were like, hey, don't be too down on yourself, but all the emotions that you go through when you get knocked out of a competition like this, it's a lot to deal with. You go through a lot of what some people call imposter syndrome. I don't think it's quite that. I think it's more of just doubt, self-doubt. You go through these phases of, what am I doing here? Why did I even do this? Was this worth it? Am I embarrassed? Should I be more embarrassed? You go over the moves that you missed, the triggers that you missed, the cards that you wish you had drawn. I had 2 Starburst Mallet in my deck, and I never drew a single one. I had Pastel Bloom Drakes in my deck and 2 ways to get them out, and I could never get them out. I even had 2 Pastel Bloom Drakes in my Abyss, turn 2, and I drew into a Nocterum. First thing the opponent does, Sirius. Come on, y'all. Couldn't keep up with them. So it was really tough. There's a lot of excuses that you can make, but it all comes down to practice, practice, practice. You've got to practice. You've got to go against a few decks, a few players, and find what you're really weak against. If I could do it all over again, I would not take that deck. I think my vanilla deck would have done a lot better against those Petrias because there was a couple ways to deal with that overwhelm of the board. Or I could have, instead of doing Helio Boundless, I could have gone Boundless Petria to really help put up some power and hold my own against those. But those are all things that you play through in your head. And let me just say, anyone that competed or anyone watching this in the future, if you get knocked out and you're like, man, what am I doing here? This isn't worth it. It's too sweaty. These guys are out for blood, and I'm just here to try to compete. I feel like a little leaguer going against a Verlander fastball. You feel like that, but really it's a humbling experience, and really it can be a learning experience as well. My grandpa used to say, you win or you learn, and I learned a lot. And so this is something that I think was very crucial for me to experience, in that you cannot, or you should try not to, go at these competitions alone. You really need to have someone have your back, not just having a team there so you can figure out the math on things, but also before the competition to really point out the flaws in your deck or to help you build your deck. And that's one of the things that I loved about our community, is seeing this game become an actual trading card game in the hours leading up to the competition. Friday night, after the sealed event, I saw people talking with others in the Stone Seeker saying, hey, I like this deck, but you should plan for this. We were actually helping each other build decks the night before at the tournament. So that was wonderful to see. Also, during the Stone Seeker Cup, there was people helping others figure out the math. Should you draw in your 4th game or 5th game? And even though at the table we were out for blood, there was still a lot of folks helping each other because we want to compete at our best. And if we win, we want to win against someone's best. And speaking of trading cards, I have a message here for Jeff French, the CEO. And if you're not Jeff French, you can listen to this, but I think it'll be mostly impactful for him. Jeff, you have done something that I did not think could be done in 2025 and beyond. We live in a world where trading card games are really just buying card games. I can go online and I can see other people's decks, or I can create the deck that I want. And then I can go on to eBay or to the Discord and say, hey, I want to buy these cards. Here's my money. Give me those cards. And I can take those cards and compete in a tournament. You could call it a trading card game all you want, but when you get to competition level, you're just buying the cards, right? They say if you want to collect, you can buy and rip, but players, if you want to play, just go buy the cards you want. That's just what it is. That is not the case for the Dragon Cup. The Dragon Cup has reintroduced scarcity into the trading card game that has been lost since the internet came about. I saw people the night before still continuing to chase cards because, again, the Dragon Cup requires OCMs 25, formless foils or pre-release slabs to be the rest of the deck. And so people had those 25 OCMs, but they knew, I want to add a different card, but if I add that different card, it has to be an OCM because I'm taking an OCM out. But if I take that OCM out, maybe I can replace this other formless foil with an OCM, so I still have 25, but now I've got the formless foil of the card that I really want. And seriously, past midnight, the day before the tournament, which would actually be the morning of the tournament, people were borrowing cards, renting cards, and actually trading cards. And of course, the community is so great. I think so many people just were letting others borrow cards. In fact, I even saw some of the top players borrowing cards the night before from other top players. No trades were asked, no deals were asked. Sometimes you were asking for collateral, rental, or whatever. But this was an actual trading card competition. When you see the decks that come out of the Dragon Cup, you will be surprised at just how much of a hodgepodge these decks seem to be. But the fact that these players can play with those kind of decks at the level that they did, and chase and partner and rent and borrow, the fact that they could pull that off is just amazing. So for Jeff, you have done something that I did not think could be done, in that when you created the Dragon Cup, you actually recreated or rebooted trading cards in general. And I just think that is awesome. The other highlights of the SCG, we had some sealed tournaments, nothing cash prize like the other SCG tournaments. We had just break open a pack, play 3 games, see what cards you get. And for those of us that don't have a full play set, we'd find the cards that other people hit and see what they could trade out of the packs that we got. But it was great just to be around people. The community, like I said in my video last week, is amazing. And to meet people in person, I can't even tell you how many people. Of course, Sneaky Joe and the boys were there. Yo-Yo was there. I got to meet so many people that I'd only met online. Rakius, Whiplash, got to meet Branch in person. Tina, Skizzy, got to meet them. Capricorn, of course, in person. Binless for the first time in person. Hanging Bananas for the first time in person. I met the legend, Immortal Echoes, who learned the game in Houston, and I've been talking to him, a fellow Texan, and now he comes and gets in the top 8. Come on, y'all. Let's go. It was so fun to meet all these great people. And there were still more people that I did not get to meet totally. I got to meet Hoffman as well. I know D-Line was there and True Story was there. I don't think I met them. The weekend was such a blur. There were so many great people. You make these friends online, and then you get a chance to see them in person. That was just the absolute highlight of my week. And then, of course, to talk about the game that you love and play with it. And at the end of the weekend, even at the end of this long, bandwidth-intensive weekend, there were still people playing for fun at tables near where the Sealed was happening and near where the Dragon Cup was happening. It was just surreal. It was a lot of fun. Was it a perfect event? No, but I'm not going to sit here and harp on the things that didn't go well because I am just thankful that this event went off the way that it did. So thank you so much for the whole team that was there. Ramel was there helping out people learn to play and also helping us clarify some rules before and during and after the competition. Wicked, of course, is the events coordinator, and so he helped work with SCG to make sure everything fired off well. Tinsman was there, and the artists were there. Ryder was there. Bear was there. All the guys. Kish was there that did the art that's in existence. It was just an amazing experience. And of course, you can't talk about conventions without talking about swag. A couple of things that we got from the convention that were a nice surprise, starting with the Vegas shirt here. So we got the World Championship Las Vegas t-shirt. I don't remember if they announced this, but it was in the, like, hey, by the way, today, if you're playing in the Stoneseeker or the Dragon, go get your shirt. So we got a shirt. And then we got another shirt. This is from Crypto Coop, one of the community members. And yes, we met Crypto Coop and his family was there. His son was looking all snazzy and he made this shirt. And of course, for me specifically, he put the Umberthine logo on there because I do collect Umberthine. And then on the back, we got this pretty sweet little art here that he has the proof of ownership for. And so we got that there. Man, that would be a really sweet card. So this was awesome. It's all wrinkly because I wore it on Sunday and I haven't watched it yet, but I went and grabbed it because I wanted to show it to you. And then another surprise was play mats. We got Las Vegas World Championship exclusive play mats for playing. Everyone who played got this mat. And then if you qualified in the top 8 Stoneseeker or Dragon Cup, you got a special mat for that matches the promo card that you got for that. So this is the participant map and it looks great. So I'm going to keep this underneath and we'll go look at some of the swag that we got. There was also a couple pieces of mail that came in. I'll share that as well.
So let's get into the trades. And just real quick, I'm going to go over a couple of mail pieces that came in. I got a bunch of packs that came in from different places that I got from Givvies and I think that I bought from Stretch, as well as some packs that I just had left over. And I wanted to crack them all open just in case there was something cool to take to trade. So I did crack all these open, but unfortunately I didn't hit anything really worth talking about. But I did get some packs in the mail. Another thing to share that I'm not sure that I shared is a trade with Mighty Fluke. And Mighty Fluke did a lot of practice with me heading up to Houston. So I wanted to thank him. So I traded him my promo Wretched Mirror from Houston. And he gave me a lot of paper to help complete my playsets. I think there's a few more cards that I already have pulled out, but he helped me complete my rare and epic portion of my playset, as well as several paper mythics. So I'm very happy with this. I still got my personal promo Wretched Mirror. I wanted to trade the other one away. Yeah, there was a few more I think that I pulled to possibly use for my deck in Vegas. So yeah, this was awesome. And I'm glad to get a zip there too. Thank you, Mighty Fluke, for helping me with getting all that together. The last thing that came in before Vegas was actually this one. This was my prize for winning the Stoneseeker Loco Sealed tournament. And I ripped it open again before Vegas because I wanted to see if there was something that I could take. And let me tell you, when I ripped it open, I was like, actually, I don't want to travel with this because Loco, look at what you gave me for winning the tournament. Look at this. Let's do it Hobby Club style. Let's turn it over and let's see what we got. It is, it's a Heliosynth. It's an item. What items come in alt art that are Heliosynth? How about a mythic? Right there. Can you see that? I got the alt art Great Core of Alderac. I cannot believe this. I was not expecting much, but oh my goodness. So what a great, not only a fantastic little prize pot for the sealed tournament, but also to get a surprise alt art from Loco, the great core of Alderaan. I am over the moon with this. Now I am alt art complete on my personal collection, but if you are interested in this, I would love to trade it to help complete my formless foil collection. I am now needing 4, yes, you heard me, 4 more cards. If you are paying attention, I needed 5 or 6 last week. Well, let's see. All right, let's talk about what I got at the conference. This is from Crypto Coop. Again, he owns several proofs, and so he gave me a little pack. He gave it to a lot of folks, the pack of stickers with this proof. So if I can get this open here, there we go. So let's see what stickers we hit in this pack. That would be pretty cool if actually like different packs had different stickers and you can actually chase. Ooh, look at that one. That one looks cool. I'm not showing it to the camera right. We got that little ring there that I have the thing. Oh, look at that. Ethereum. Wow, these are awesome. Look at that. Eye of Maelstrom. Oh my goodness, this looks great. There's the, what is this, Mold Warrior? These look wonderful. So yeah, I love that. These are cool stickers. I'm gonna add this to my sticker collection. I got a little sticker collection in my binder as well. But thank you, Crypto Coop, for the shirt and the stickers. Now on to what I got. So I bought this from Google King. I told him I need a paper Nexus for Vegas. And there was a possibility that we can use it for the Dragon Cup, but no, I ended up playing in the Stone Seeker. But I needed 2 for my deck, and it didn't help me in Stone Seeker, but it did help me in the 1250 tournament. My 1250, I ran Ascend Biosis, and that was a lot of fun to play, and Double Nexus really came in handy for that. I went 3-0 in that tournament. Thank you, Google King, and again, just to shout out how awesome the community is. He just walked up to me, gave it to me Friday night, and was like, hey, look, pay me back later. It's one of those things where if we know you, we trust you, of course, if we like you, we won't sweat certain deals. So thank you for that. Also, shout out Jester. I needed for my 1250 deck a Rigel Lightbringer, and I didn't have one. So I was prepared to run my 1250 deck without it. But Jester had one, and he let me borrow it. But of course, I forgot to give it back in my rush to leave. He was actually playing in the final top 2, the final championship match when I had to leave. And so I just didn't even think about trying to track him down to find this. So I got to give this back to him. I will send that to him in the mail. Now, when you play these competitions, these side events, the sealed, the 1250 and the other sealed, you get prize tickets. You get 150 for playing, and then you get 150 per win. I did pretty good at all the events, so most of my winnings were actually prize tickets, which I used for collector packs. And holy cow, I pulled some heat. So going into the collector packs, first I got a mythic paper Divine Bloodbearer. I got several formless foils. I got a Chained Crow, an Intricate Protector, Synthetic, and then I also got a Kraken the Inferno formless foil, but big hit out of my prize packs. This was a pack I did not pay for. This was a pack that I got with my prize tickets. I got a formless foil Divine Bloodbearer. I was over the moon. I tell you what, after the hard day that it was and being real disappointed in my performance at the tournament, this made the day a little bit better. To pull this out of a prize pack, I was happy with that. So this was great. I am going to try to trade it for one of the cards that I need in my set for my personal collection. Now, funny story. In the Stone Seeker Cup, just for playing, you got a play bundle, just on the house for free, okay? If you played in the Dragon Cup, you got a collector bundle, just for playing and for free, right? So I ripped open my play bundle, and I ripped open the collector bundle that I purchased. And would you believe the collector bundle was actually worse than the play bundle? And this is what I keep telling people. If you're a player, it's sometimes not worth it to buy the collector bundle because most of the packs in collector bundles or collector boxes are going to be play packs. Out of 6 packs in the collector bundle, I only pulled 1 formless foil. Now it's a good one. It's a Brimstone Crypt. But that was the only formless foil. The other packs were just play packs. They were just paper and foil, and no mythics in those either. There was probably an epic, but there was no mythics at all. But out of the play bundle that I got, I pulled an End of Bloodline, foil epic. I pulled another Divine Bloodbearer paper. So all these came out of my prize packs. These came out of my prize packs and my play pack. Then I also pulled a foil with the Rigel Lightbringer. Look at that guy. And a foil Ragnar Bloodbane. 2 cards I actually need for my play set. Now I do want to trade these for paper. And if you got 2 paper Rigel or 2 paper Ragnars, I will trade you 1 for 2. Okay. But look at that, out of my play pack. Only hit out of my collector pack. Now granted, you can't pull this out of a plate bundle. Some people might value this more. I personally look at both playability and collectability. To me, these are more valuable than the rare formless foil. So those were my prize packs in one bundle that I bought. So I thought that was interesting. The play bundle that I bought was actually more valuable to me, at least, than the collector bundle. All right, on to the promos. Of course, for playing in the side events, you got a formless foil, the first SCG promo, and I got 2 of them. But if you did the math, I actually competed in 3 side events, and that is because they had so many people show up that they weren't expecting. They didn't bring enough. So they are going to email us or mail us the final first promo that we need. So if you're interested in this, if you collect promos, I will trade these for you. I prefer not to sell them, but I would prefer to trade them to complete my play set or maybe a few other formless foils that I need. Additionally, again, just to shout out an awesome community member, Hanging Bananas, gifted me this for just because he's an awesome dude. Again, I sold mine to pay to go to Vegas. So the fact that I can now hold another one is just an amazing blessing. I can barely see my phone, so I hope this is in focus. We got the promo Seer's Gaze from Baltimore. So I cannot believe this. Now, you may be asking yourself, hey, Texan, didn't you get a promo card for playing in Stoneseeker Cup? And I did. I did get the Anglopod promo card. And let me tell you, when I saw that, me and Tina, I played Tina round 1 in my Stoneseeker Cup. We both stopped our game and was just admiring this card was gorgeous. I think it was one of the best, and I think the Glasswing Cockatrice as well was one of the best looking promo cards. I thought it was beautiful. And I thought, man, I might not be able to give this away. Well, I gave it away. Well, I didn't give it away. I traded it away because someone was there holding this little beauty. And I've been searching for this. I've been looking for this for so long. And I said, look, I want this, and I'm willing to trade as part of a deal my promo Anglopod. And that card, because I came home with this and not the Anglopod promo, is the formless foil Nocturna of Umbrathine, traded with Ramal, and I could not be more ecstatic. This was a tough trade. He made me work for it, okay? I did not get the deal that I want, but to have this finally in my possession, this is the hardest thing I've been chasing since a formless foil prisoner. And to finally have one, my goodness, I am over the moon. Because I know where the other ones lie, but this is the one that's the hardest to find. But not only that, we did the trade. The deal was done. I was like, I wish I'd gotten a better deal on my end, but I'm at least happy to come home with Nocturna. And even Ramal said, hey, I brought her here so she could go to Texas. And I said, Texas will welcome Nocturna. But then he shows up in the middle of a conversation. And he says, hey, by the way, I'm never outdone on a deal. And he gave me this. Now, this is a regular Anglopod, but it's formless foil, and it's remarked. Look at this. This is a 1-of-1. No one else has this card. They may have another remarked card. None of them were like this one. Holy cow. And I love remarks. If I could afford it, I would have more remarked comic books. This is special, y'all. This is insane. But this isn't the only signed card that I got. I also took a bunch of cards because I want to have signatures from all of the Wonders of the First artists. So I tracked down and I bought cards that I still needed for my firearm rifle collection. And I got signatures, starting with Ryder Tensman, who created Technology. Got his signature on the formless foil, Monkey with a Gun. Then I tracked down Kit, who did Zerastratos. But I didn't have a Zerastratos. Guess what I did? I bought one from him. I bought a formless. I said, hey, I need a formless foil Zerastratos. And he sold it to me. And then I said, okay, great. How can you sign it? Because he did the art. But not only that, Kish, if you know, did the art for the first. And since I have a formless foil, the first, now I have a formless foil signed by the artist, the first. And then another artist was there who is normally not at American events. And I do have a random signature that I purchased from eBay of his, but I needed to get something for my collection. The problem? He hasn't ever done a firearm. He doesn't have any firearms to his name on the artistry. He is mainly the Umbrathine artist, lovingly named Bear. So I grabbed the closest thing to a firearm. How about a giant summon crushing rock? So I got Bear to sign the crushing rock. I say, hey, if you don't have a gun, why not just use a spell to summon a giant crushing rock? So I got him to sign. And of course, he remarks all his with the bear there. He was absolutely fantastic to talk to and speak with. But this isn't it. Because also while I was there, I've been trying to seek out a 3 sign. And I did it. It's finally done. We've got the 3 sign formless foil prisoner. Signed by Tinsman, the game creator, Frenchie, CEO of the company, and now Ramel, the artist of the Demon Woman. The prisoner, formless foil, 3 signed. Now, after I got Ramel's signature, the last one I needed, I went straight to Tinsman and I said, hey, are these the 3 keys that free the prisoner? And the rules are not updated. She is still locked away. But this is something that I did not think that I could get so quickly. A lot of this I did not think I could get so quickly. So to have a 3-signed prisoner, I'm just over the moon. It would take a lot for me to get rid of some of these, like these signature ones. It would take a lot for me to get rid of these. But this one, I told my family over my dead body, literally. I don't need to be buried with it. Do what you want with it after I'm gone. But while I'm here walking on this earth, breathing on this planet, this one stays with me. Beautiful.
So there you have it. It's one thing to say the community is awesome, but when they show it with how they treat you with trades and buys and just making deals with each other, private deals, it all goes to show you just how much potential this game has. My dog really wants you to know how much potential this game has. I think it's about to storm. That's what she's telling me. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go get this one ready for the storm. If you like this video, like this video. If you like this dog, like this video and comment. Let me know if you were at Vegas or if you are going to any of the future SCGs. What do you think? What did you think? What do you want to see next year? If you didn't like this video, I only believe you if you hit that dislike button twice. Thank you guys for watching, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. And congrats again to Honest AF and Ken for taking home the championships for the first year of Wonders of the First. Adios.